guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's video, I want to give you another update on my sweet girl Donut, which is this rat right here. So Donut has been on treatment for a pituitary gland tumor for the last 8 months, which is pretty insane to think about. She is currently getting prednisone, cabergoline, and doxycycline. The prednisone is an anti-inflammatory, it's a steroid, and it helps keep down inflammation around the tumor because pituitary gland tumors are brain tumors, and one of the main reasons you see symptoms with them is because basically there's not a lot of room in the brain, and as the tumor grows and as inflammation around it increases, it starts to build pressure in the brain, which basically starts to squish the rest of the brain. So you want to reduce inflammation as much as possible, especially early on, because that helps to reduce pressure. Now, the cabergoline that Donut is on is for the tumor itself. It reduces the size of the tumor itself, and it also stops the growth of the tumor. And if it works and how long it works depends on the tumor. It will only work on hormonal-based pituitary gland tumors called prolactinomas, but Donut definitely has a prolactinoma, which we know because she's been on treatment for 8 months at this point. And you won't see this sort of quality life last so long with a rat with a pituitary gland tumor if they're just responding to steroids, which all of them will. So they definitely need to be responding to a prolactin antagonist like cabergoline. Otherwise, you're not going to see this sort of long-term progress. But all that being said, Donut herself is thankfully responding really well to the med still. And even though you can see that she does look like an older rat now, she is over 2.5 now, she is still doing really well, and she is just kind of continuing to live her life. She has a few issues. She has some kidney issues. She has some mammary tumor issues. She can't get the mammary tumors removed because she has the pituitary gland tumor, and these sorts of hormonal tumors typically don't do very well under anesthesia. That is to say, they tend to start growing very rapidly if the rat is put under anesthesia, even if the rat is fairly stable beforehand. So it's not typically worth the risk to put them under for surgery if the rat has a pituitary gland tumor, because usually that just means they're going to end up passing from the pituitary gland tumor shortly after surgery, so kind of negates the whole point of surgery. Anyways, that's pretty much it for Donut. She doesn't really have a lot of new things going on. She has, like I said, some kidney and hind leg issues. She has some mammary tumor issues. You can see, like, for example, she has a mammary tumor right there, and she has, yeah, you can just see there's like a few of them. Basically, the cabergoline that Donut's on does help to prevent the formation of certain types of mammary tumors, specifically hormonal types of mammary tumors. However, unfortunately, not all mammary tumors are hormonal based, and even those that aren't always going to respond super strongly to cabergoline. And if you already have a tumor that is pre-existing, it only does so much. Usually it just stops the growth of them. So one of Donut's tumors has been around for a long time, actually since right before she developed her pituitary gland tumor, so over 8 months, and that one has not grown at all ever since starting cabergoline. So that one's definitely very responsive, but it's still there. So, even though she is very lucky and that tumor is responsive to cabergoline, it's not gone, which is not unexpected, but it does kind of show you the downside of trying to go the medication route versus surgery with these sorts of tumors, because they're likely not going to disappear with medication alone. Although, like I said, Donut's not a surgery candidate because of her pituitary gland tumor, so it's not like we really have many options here. But just in general, thankfully, she is doing very well. I am just keeping an eye on her and her quality of life. She's not getting any worse when it comes to her health issues currently, so that is a good thing. And yeah, just in general, I'm just trying to make sure that Donut is continuing to live her golden months pretty happily, and I think that she is. She's a little bit more rickety than she used to be. That is to say, she is just dealing with hind leg issues, and aging does tend to come along with some other issues like the kidney issues I mentioned and mammary tumors. None of that's really related to her pituitary gland tumor, except that her kidney issues might be in part due to the medication she's on, because prednisone and doxycycline are both pretty hard on the kidneys when given long term. But yeah, both of them are pretty essential to Donut's situation. The prednisone, like I said, is an anti-inflammatory, and the doxy, I don't think I said it, but basically it's an antibiotic that helps to counteract the immune suppression effects of being on long-term steroids like prednisone. But yeah, they are pretty essential to Donut's situation, so it's impossible to take her off them. And it's just kind of a situation where we have to minimize the side effects as much as possible, which I've done with a good kidney-friendly diet and by adding in some kidney supportive supplements. But yeah, in general, Donut's doing pretty well, and I'm definitely not expecting her to just go suddenly downhill anytime soon. It always could happen. It's something I just keep in mind with rats with any sort of chronic issues, especially older rats. But Donut herself seems to be doing very well, and so hopefully she will be around for a while yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing Miss Donut. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye!